Welcome to Impact Wrestling. Now, before I get started, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. The first one is that I am going to be doing a Gump report for next week. It's not going to be this week. You're going to get one more video this week that should be this Saturday or Sunday, and that will be about Alexa Bliss. But for next week, I'm probably going to do one or two videos on the releases from the WWE, counting if there's more information, of course. Don't know yet. Supposing they released 9 people. So I'll probably talk about one or two of those people at least in one video and maybe another. And I'm sure anybody who's seen the video of the Gump report, they're going to probably say, are you going to talk about Billy Kay? Yeah, I'll talk about Billy Kay. Talk about Peyton Royce. I'll talk about maybe Mickey Jane. And definitely going to talk about Samoa Joe. But you're going to have to wait because the next one in schedule will be about Alexa Bliss. That's the next one that's coming out, I think, Saturday or Sunday. I haven't had a chance to edit it yet. So you're going to see this. Then I'll probably edit it tomorrow. And then I'll probably release it Sunday or Saturday. It depends on what I'm doing. But this is about Impact Wrestling. Now, we got 10 days before Rebellion. Now, the really strange thing for me is Wrestle Week is coming, and they're going to be repeating a lot of the shows they're going to do. Look, on the 25th, they're going to show Hard to Kill, which is supposed to come out tomorrow. They're going to do it tomorrow, but then it's going to be released on the 25th or 24th. The scheduling's a little weird for me personally. I don't know if I'll watch Hard to Kill, if it's even watchable, because it's possible to watch it. I think it's going to be an Impact Plus, but I don't know if I'm going to watch it. To be honest, I'm tired. I haven't even had a chance to see Hardcore Justice yet. You guys know what I've been through last week. I did a whole bunch of videos. I did WrestleMania. I've done now 3 videos of the Gump report. It's been a lot, so I had no time to really see stuff. So I'm going to have to work on this new schedule, maybe doing 1 Gump report a week. Or if I do 2, I have to be careful not to burn myself out. But anyway, let's get to the show. I know I talked a little too long. Now, I'm not going to be detailed here. I'm going to tell you what I think is the most important things about this show. And I will say this show was good. Camera work, the obligatory little images, and I know I didn't do anything for AEW on Wednesday. There was no point in it because their shots were a lot better and there were very few. Here, similar. There was very few shots. Normally be like 10 or 15 shots. Here, there might be about 4 or 5 shots and they've already passed by already. So the camera work has improved a bit. They've been switching the cameras better. So we got Josh Alexander versus TJ Perkins, which I can easily say these guys got good chemistry. And when it came to this match particularly, if anybody likes chain wrestling, this is your match. Because there was not no heavy high flying here. This was straight out wrestling. I think they wanted to prove something. And that kind of pisses me off. Because if you're going to prove something, make it special. Why don't they do a best of 5 series? Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards did it. Couldn't you do it with these guys? Yes, I know Rebellion's coming up. But you could have done something, or at least after this, there could be a definitive win for somebody that's either one of them, and they get angry at each other, and they get Scott saying, you know what, it's time to do a best of 5 series. And whoever wins it gets a shot at if it's going to be, well, counting on if either one of them wins the title at Rebellion. If neither one does, this would be a good way to get back at Ace Austin. That's the way I feel about it. The match was excellent. Not because it was high flying, but because it was flat out chain wrestling. Now, I like a balanced match. I like chain wrestling. I don't mind high flying. And don't mind high impact. This was flat out chain wrestling. Now, if you don't like chain wrestling, I won't be surprised. You can say it below. I didn't like it, but it's understandable. This is fitting a certain niche. Like, if it's all high flying, a certain niche of people are going to love high flying. If it's high impact, same thing. And in this case, it was just the purest form of wrestling. Not that much high flying. It was about who could out wrestle the other. Yes, they still got hit in the face, but you get my point. And you got Josh winning, which I was kind of surprised. Because I didn't see Hardcore Justice, so I don't know how the match went. I don't know who won, and please don't tell me, guys. If I have the time to look at Hardcore Justice, I don't want to know who won. Of course, I know Ace Austin won, but I don't know who ate the pin, so don't tell me, okay? Now, We had Crazy Steve versus Carl Anderson. Really? You got Carl Anderson going up against Crazy Steve. Now, mind you, I don't hate Decay. I don't. But you thought they would do something with Decay. And you're putting Crazy Steve up against a former tag team champion. I don't think that really helped. Trying to put Decay over and making them into a faction. Because right now you have Violence by Design and you have Decay. Those are the only two factions you got currently right now. Next to the club, of course. The Bullet Club, the Elite, who are going back and forth from the show to show. So that's what you got. And pretty much Carl won. I wasn't surprised. But after seeing Finjuice saying they're doing great, they only got maybe 1 or 2 more rounds left to try and regain, no, actually go through the cup. And, well, going through the cup over there, one of them only has 1 round left because they didn't really pay that much attention to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm not a New Japan Pro Wrestling guy. I never really was, but I have thought about it, and I know they got great wrestlers there. They got great women's wrestlers, they got great men's wrestlers. The storylines is a major problem for me, particularly that they don't have someone always speaking English. Unless you're going to do the subtitles, that's if they have them. There you go. It's just, they're setting up for rebellion. That's what this is all about, and that's just to keep Carl busy. Now, Swingers Palace. We got all the guys in there. I don't know how to feel about Swingers Palace. Don't get me wrong, I like it. I don't mind Swingers Palace. They got everyone and their mother who keeps going in and out of the place. Where's the lead? You would think that Swinger would have just more than 1 wad of... This is the thing that gets me about Swingers Palace. I like Swingers Palace. But why does he only have 1 wad? I say it again. 1 wad of fucking cash. Shouldn't he have like 5 wads of cash? If Swingers Palace is getting that profitable, wouldn't you think he should have a box of money? Like a small deposit box of money, and that he still keeps a wad with him, but he says, you see what I got, Daddy? This is the original money I worked and hard for it. I had to spend it and I put it back, and then I got this from it, baby. Yeah. Like that. Come on. He should have more money than just that damn wad in his hand. I just don't get it. I know there's more to it, but I'm leaving it. Now, to Neil Dashwood, All About Me, using the old Locker Room Talk set. Her first interview with herself, with Gina Miller. I believe that's her name. I always forget her name. But they were interviewing her, talking about her being the #1 contender and going to Rebellion, going against the Dana Purrazzo. Now, the thing that got me was that she said clearly, I have faced Dana before, and she's never beaten me. So I know I'm going to win. This is going to be mine. It is mine. Everything's always been about me, and it's going to be. I am the one who started the women's revolution. Now, remember, who truly started WWE's women's revolution? It wasn't just Paige. The very first person who came off of NXT as a woman was Emma Evolution. And Vince did nothing with her. It wasn't because she couldn't get over. She was very over at NXT. It's just that Vince did nothing with her. They didn't do anything. They repackaged her, and then they still didn't do anything with her, and she got sick of it, and then they let her go. There you go. Now, maybe I should skip this. I'll wait until the end. Yeah, because I'm going to do Jazz near the end. You got Brian Myers, and you got Matt Cardona. Pick your poison. Matt Cardona basically had to go in the ring, and it was Jake somebody, because that is Matt. The thing that gets me about this, I kind of wish they hadn't done this. I understand they wanted to give Matt Cardona and Brian Myers something to do. I understand that. I do. But the problem for me personally was that the build-up for both of them has not been very good. You guys know what I've been saying for weeks, that it should have been done earlier. If they had at least another month earlier, it would feel more important. They could have dragged it out, and they could have had this Pick Your Poison 2 weeks before this. Then it would be all right. And then you could have had some type of agreement Now, and how they want to do their match. That's what I think would have been better for both of them. Now, you got Jake somebody versus a Brian Myers, which Brian Myers beat him. And then you got Matt Cardona going against Sami Callihan, where he got his butt kicked. But here's the thing. Why did you blend one match into another? Not one match. Of course, they did to pick your poison. I think it's one segment into another. That's what this is. Because once it was over, you got Sami Callihan being the one wanting to talk to Trey, calling him out, saying, look, I'm giving you this shot. I am proud of you what happened to Hardcore Justice, which I don't know what exactly happened. And you have proven your passion, but you need more. You got a fire in you. You got a mean streak in you, and I can bring it out. Shake my hand, and I will give it to you. And he says no. Then he says, you need to be more appreciative, because you would have nothing on Hardcore Justice. You weren't even booked. But who got you in there, and who laid out Tommy? Me. For you. Shake my hand, and let's go. No. They start fighting, and Trey gets laid out multiple times, but he still kept getting back up. This is what I kind of wish had happened, that the Pick Your Poison had opened the show, and that TJ Perkins and pretty much Josh had been where they were. I think they're a much better match, and I truly believe it would have helped the segment for a Sami Callihan later, because after that match, you could have waited about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and then you could have had him call out Trey. They could have had the fight, and that would have been it. That's just me. You can tell me what you think. Now, what else do we have here? I might as well get this done now. You got... They're in my face. Eddie and Willie are angry because now we know Sammy is the one who laid out Tommy, but they didn't know that. They blame violence by design. They called out violence by design. Violence by design said, we didn't do it. We don't need to do that. We'll just lay you out. Fight breaks out. You got Sabin coming out. You got Storm coming out. And they saying, let's make this interesting. Not Bound for Glory. I think I'm watching this because of one reason. What are we really doing here? Is now Violence by Design having a face-to-face with another faction? Is this about Willie, Eddie, and what do we got with Sabin and Storm? Is this another faction, or is this just four guys thrown together that's giving them something for Rebellion? That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm thinking, because if you look at AEW, they got nearly 9 to 10 different factions there, starting with 3 people and they expand outward. And I'm hoping Impact is not going there. They got 2 factions, only 2. They got Violence by Design. Then you got the one you know, the one you love. That's it. And I just feel that they got to make sure they don't go overboard and not add another faction. That's what I'm hoping for. Now they're going to have a match at Rebellion. Hopefully it'll be all right. Now, the ending. I was going to consider making this She Ends Today, but I know that what happened at the end of the show is more important, not taking anything away from Jazz. Her retirement speech. Good. How you doing, guys? This is Future Zane here. Unfortunately, part of the video did not work. So the audio and video kind of got screwed up when I was recording. So sorry about that. But I'm going to give you my thoughts about what happened with Jazz and what happened with the press conference. Hopefully you can hear me. When it comes down to it, for me personally, for Jazz, she did a good job. You may not like Jazz. You think that she is an old has-been, that she's an old WWE woman or ECW woman, but look, she did a decent job in Impact, and I'm so hoping that she decides to stay at Impact. She could truly teach those people something extra that they need. And it'll be a great loss to Impact if she's not working with them anymore. And that's how I feel about it. The match she had with the Hood Rats along with Jordan Grace. You could say that was a nice send-off. Honestly, it leads into a match for Rebellion, and I do believe that might be ODB that will be Jordan Grace's partner. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe she'll be a partner. I'm not exactly sure. But it is what we got. Now for the press conference. Here's the thing. Was it better than what WWE puts on? Hell yes, it is. Let me give it to you like this. This truly felt like a real press conference. That's something that boxing and MMA would recognize. And if you really wanted to feel like it was something different, this is what you got. Did Kenny talk well? Yes, he did. Did Rich talk well? Yes, he did. Did Don talk over the top? Of course he does. And it's not something to hate. It's actually not a bad thing. I enjoyed it. And the fight at the end was good. But I have to say this. I do kind of wish that Rich had tried to interrupt Kenny at the end before the fight to let him know that his passion is just as good as his, and he was born for this just like Kenny was. This was a good show. And we got 10 days before Rebellion. It's looking good, but as I've kept saying to everyone, just be patient. Don't underestimate anything from Impact or what's going on in AEW. And for the subscriber that I spoke to before that is pissed off that AEW is not giving enough to Impact Wrestling, I did tell you 100% when you saw the press conference with Scott D'Amore, and I hope you guys can hear me because I'm hoping this is edible. Oh, not edible. Just like the Gump Report, you never know what you get. Audible. But I said this clearly. Impact knows exactly what they're getting themselves into. They are exactly where they believe they are at. And if this works out after Rebellion, that's great. But if it doesn't work out, and Impact is stuck exactly as they were before, honestly, part of it is their fault. You cannot keep justifying that someone else is causing trouble for Impact, saying that it's unfair, they're being treated wrong. As I said to that subscriber, how many times have they worked with other companies and they didn't gain a damn thing? Impact made the choice. We just got to hope that it does work out. Doesn't mean it will, but let's just hope it does. Sorry about the recording, guys. I hope you enjoyed what part that did work. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.